Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be teaching you all there is to know about M-zones. In my personal opinion, learning about M-zones is one of the most important things you can do as a player. So what exactly is an M-zone? It is a simple calculation which is your stack divided by the initial pot at the start of the hand. There are 4 different categories of an M-zone: red, orange, yellow and green. If you are in the red zone at the start of the hand, then you have very few chips remaining. You are simply looking for a good spot to push your chips all in before the flop. This should be done with a fairly strong hand depending on table position, as it is very likely you are going to be called by one or more players. If you are in the orange zone, which I personally believe is one of the trickiest stack sizes there is to play, your hand selection should be based on the fact: if you play the hand and see the flop, it is highly likely you are going to be committed to your hand and are going to be all in on either the flop, turn or river. This is because the pot will have got to a similar size of that of your stack, which nearly always makes you pot committed. When you find yourself in the yellow zone, you can breathe a little easier, as it is unlikely you are going to get in awkward situations for your tournament life. This could only really happen if you bet the flop, bet the turn, and then bet the river and the villain you're against pushed all in. As I said, unlikely. What I would recommend for a stack of this size is try and build your stack by making stabs at pots and backing down if the players at the table fight back. You can't win every hand. Once you are in the green zone, welcome to paradise. You will have a great deal of room to maneuver. By this I mean you can afford to take risks and be adventurous with your hand selection, depending on the style you are attempting to play. For example, my game doesn't change much, but I would play my small pairs more in an attempt of hitting a set and busting my opponents. It is also important to keep an eye on your opponent's M-zones, as this can aid with putting them on a hand as well as help avoid difficult situations from occurring. For example, if I was to pick up Queen 9 offsuit on the button, it is highly likely that if the other 2 players folded in front of me, I would try and steal the small blind and the big blind. However, in this example, I am highly likely to not attempt this, as the player that's on the big blind has an exceptionally short stack in terms of M. This makes it unwise to try and steal this opponent's big blind, as it is highly likely that they shall push all in on an attempt of a steal. On the other hand, if I was on the button and picked up Queen 9 and both players in front of me folded and I had only 4M, I would push all in to try and steal the blinds from my opponents, as they have everything to lose with stacks of 10M and I have very little to lose, so it is unlikely they are going to call me unless they have a fairly strong hand. Thanks for watching everyone. I hope you find this video to be useful. Drop me a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you want more.